Although it's been 15 years since the genocide, for many survivors, it might as well have been yesterday.
I'm Marie Uwimana. I came from Rwanda, especially Kigali. For me, it was my first time to reach here in the US. My husband, for the first time in New York.
My name is Claudien. I was born in Rwanda, in the Eastern Province.
Claudien and Maria just arrived from Rwanda.
Yeah, thank you.
They knew me because we belong to several online forums, our organization of young survivors. When they met me, they're like, yeah, we always see your writing and we see your events. My name is Jacqueline Murekatete. I left Rwanda a little over a year after the genocide. I lost my parents and my 6 siblings and most of my extended family. But I was one of the fortunate orphans in that I had an uncle who lived in the US, and after finding out that I had survived, he decided to adopt me and to bring me here. I'm currently a program director and fellow here at Miracle Corners of the World. Since 2007, I've been running a genocide prevention human rights program here. So we really try to find a way to deal with the problems facing survivors in post-genocide Rwanda. Survivors who live in the US or who live in Europe, we are the lucky ones. The survivors who are living in Rwanda now, they are literally living next door to the people who killed their family. It's not okay, it is not normal, it is not natural to have to get up and see somebody who, raped your mom or who you saw, cutting down your brother. And not only that, a lot of them are constantly threatened. Most survivors in Rwanda, if they had an opportunity, a lot of them, if not all of them, want to leave.
Here there is more opportunities than in our country. I wish to do a special education, also to work with people with disability. I was shot in genocide, which means I have also impairment. Many people ignore those people in the society. That's why I am interested to work with people that I can say, look,
If you're fortunate to come into a country where you can live in peace, those of us outside definitely have bigger responsibilities to carry out this work of outreach and raising awareness. I have made it my goal every year to organize programs that are commemorative, that raise awareness about what's happening. The commemorative here is an opportunity for us to remind the international community that there are challenges now you need to address if you want to make sure that what happened in 1994 does not happen again.
I would like to invite all of us to stand for a brief moment of silence in memory of the innocent men, women, and children who lost their lives in 1994, but also in recognition of those challenges faced by survivors today.
I think that it's more difficult to be in Rwanda around this time. Claudien, for example, Maria, they lived in Rwanda for many years after the genocide. So they even went through challenges that I was lucky enough to escape because I came right away. They lived in a country where they had to live among the people who killed their family. There was such a mass participation at the end of the genocide. To ask Rwanda at that time to make sure that everybody who killed was brought to justice was an impossible demand. So I understand that a lot of people who killed will never be in prison, or if they are in prison, they will be released. This is a fact that survivors have, it's a reality. It's not okay to just say, this is a situation and survivors have to deal with it. At least one of the solutions would be to identify, every village, every place where survivors live, and to make sure that if they are being harassed, they have somebody to go to, like a local level. If the government of Rwanda managed to do its own investigation and survivors managed to testify that somebody is in this country in the US or another country, that these governments need to participate in making sure that these people are extradited and they are tried in a formal and just way, and if they are guilty, they need to be brought to justice. I think a lot of people say, Rwanda is fine now and Rwanda is safe, and it is. I mean, in one sense, Rwanda has made a remarkable progress, but for survivors, Rwanda is a complicated environment. There are survivors who really feel that survivors will never be safe in Rwanda, and they need to be to go elsewhere. I personally feel that they should have that choice. But at the same time, to say that all survivors in Rwanda should leave Rwanda, it's also a very dramatic solution. And I don't know what that would mean also for Rwanda in terms of making sure that the genocide is not forgotten. I left Rwanda at the end of 1995, and I have now returned. There were many years I had no desire to go back to Rwanda. I used to think that if I went back to Rwanda, and particularly my village, I would literally lose my mind. I've come to a point recently where I have wanted to go, mostly because Miracle Corners of the World, the organization that I'm working with now, last year we began building a community center, and the vision of the center is really to be a place of empowerment, to be a place of learning, and to be a place where young people and survivors can come and engage in a type of exchange that will help them to rebuild their lives. So it's going to be a difficult journey. And sometimes I imagine how it's going to be for me to go there and to see this grass and to see, some of the houses, only like a brick remain.
I light this candle in memory of my parents, my 6 siblings, my grandmothers, my aunts.
It's difficult to separate from our family and friends, but living there in such situation, it's not good. But maybe the future can be nice. We are thinking, both of us, maybe to have a chance to have our master's degree. So if I get a scholarship in special education, I can go.
Every day when I come to work, I know that I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for people who were murdered, but also doing this, for humanity, because what I suffered is something that I don't want anybody else to ever have to go through.